Hello everyone, I hope you're all good. So before starting the lecture, I would like to share the structure of the article with you so that you have an idea how your article should be. Okay, we've got here the general requirements to the structure of the scientific article. So the title, the information about the author, the abstract, the keywords, the introduction, and the literature review. So basically for each, for example, the title, information about the author, and the abstract should be one page. Sorry, the keywords included, like these things are in one page. Introduction could be one page. There is no like you should one page of introduction, one page of literature review, maybe half page of the data methodology. Where did you collect the data, and what type of data did you use, and what methodology have you applied to run the regression analysis? Which software did you use? Did you use the Stata? Did you use Excel? So,
Professor?
Yes?
So it's 2 pages, yes? Data and methodology.
No, it's one.
Ah, one. Okay.
Data methodology is just one chapter, okay, one page. And coming to the empirical results, it's your results that you have it. I don't know how many pages it will take. I think 3-4 pages it might take with the tables and everything, but don't put the data in it, only the results. And conclusion, one page. And of course, you're going to have some references while using the literature review and so on. So this is the requirement that you should follow. If you will have any questions, you are free to get in touch with me. I will be very glad to help you. You can get in touch through the WhatsApp. So these are these are the information that is available on Moodle here that I downloaded. Okay. And today we're gonna start. We're gonna continue our chapter, which will be included in exam 2. And exam 2, I'm planning to have it actually the next week, as you know, as you're aware of it, that we've got 1 week break. So we'll not meet next week. It will be 1 week break. And right after that, we're gonna meet on 29 of March. Yeah, 29 of the March. So we're gonna have some tutorial, and I'm planning to give you the midterm 2 on 31st of March. Okay. So exam 2 will be on the 31st of March. Make adjustment to that. So I will put the announcement later on Moodle as well. There are 2 chapters are included only. One is the interest rate risk, and the other one is interest rate risk 2, duration and the interest rate risk 2. So these chapters that you're responsible for exam 2.
Professor?
Yes?
So you would include both quiz and midterm in one midterm, yes?
Most probably, because we should have the quiz. But if not, I will maybe add it to the activity part, this 5 points. I will see it, okay? I will do this arrangements. Yeah, it's going to be during the class time. It's going to be during the class. So 2 chapters that you need to be responsible for, and that you need to study to get ready for the quiz. Sorry, for the exam 2. And then we'll see the timing, because we'll have lecture 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As I said, there will be no final exam. It will be your article, your scientific work that you're doing now. And I'm planning to make your work to apply for conference, for international conference. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I can start. If you have, please feel free to ask. Okay. Today we're gonna go with the duration gap. Talking about the interest rate sensitivity gap management, which is considered to be as a useful tool in protecting against interest rate changes. So it does not fully take into account some impact of changes in the interest rate on the market value of the bank's capital, which is stockholders' investment in the bank. In addition to this, the interest rate sensitivity gap approach does not provide a single number that will tell the bankers what their institution's overall exposure to certain interest rate risk. So there are some pitfalls that we understood using the sensitivity gap management. In order to overcome these disadvantages, we shall actually learn some additional, we can say, instruments that will help us to protect against any changes of the interest rate, to reduce the exposure of the financial institution against the interest rate changes. So that financial instrument, which is called a duration of the bank's asset liabilities. So the concept of the duration itself, it means the weighted average of the maturity of the promised streams of the future cash flows, such as payment streams that the bank expect to receive from the loans and the securities they provide, and the streams of the interest payments that the bank must pay out to its depositors. And in fact, the duration measures the average time needed to recover the funds committed to a certain investment. So there's a general formula which is given here. So we are going to apply this formula to estimate the duration. So duration measures in terms of the number of the years. And this is the summation of the cash flow multiplied discounted cash flow and multiplied by the timing. So this is what you get, a discount factor. Sorry, this is discount factor. So we have the cash flow then we multiply with the discount factor and we multiply by the number of the years correspondingly, and then we sum it up. And we divide them at the end of the day, summation of discounted cash flows, or basically the present value of the all future cash flows. And this will give us the duration. So we are given a bank loan, which is extended for 5 years, and it promised the bank annual interest rate of 10%, and the face value of the loan is 1,000, and the current market value is the same due to the YTM is the same. And we know that if you remember from the finance course, when you estimate the bond value, if YTM is equal to coupon rate, that will make actually your bond value to equal to face value. So face value in here is given 1,000, and it's basically believed that all the time that if the face value is not provided, it's like 1,000. And we see that from the question that the YTM is equal to the coupon rate, that makes our bond value to equal to the face value. So our market value of this type of loan is $1,000. So we just apply the same formula. We discount the cash flow. We multiply by the number of the years, which is 5. And at the end of the day, we sum it up. And we then divide by the summation of the cash flows that we receive, the bond value. And that would give us the duration, the average number of the years that is required to receive in order to cover your commitment to a certain investment. So next time when we meet, we're going to have more practice on it. On this type of question. But before we meet, I would like to give you some questions to solve it at the end of the class today. You will solve it before we meet, and we will all go through those questions on the 27th of the March. Then on the 31st of the March, you're going to have the exam itself. There will be 4 or 5 questions. Yes, Evgenia?
Professor, excuse me, I have a question. Why don't we have a class on next Thursday?
Next Wednesday, you mean?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Thursday, actually, it's Thursday. We don't have any class. We have it on Wednesday. And the holidays will be from 22, 23rd, and 24th, because the 21st is the Sunday, which is transferred to the 24th.
Yes, I forgot.
Okay. You're
Sorry.
welcome. Otherwise, I would be able to handle it on 24. Anyway, like from one study break, we go to another study break. So anyway, like I feel that if you have any question during the study, during the holiday, please feel free to contact me. And even if there will be need for the Zoom meeting, there will be no problem. I can arrange to meet with you through the Zoom as well.
Professor, is it okay if we contact you with WhatsApp?
Yes, I feel fine. That's why I created a WhatsApp, business WhatsApp to you to get in touch with me very quick way. Because
Thank
WhatsApp, it really makes me useful to record the video to give you the feedback on certain question or the voice messages. So the bonds that pays the interest semi-annually, the duration equation becomes here this way, or the bonds pays quarterly, then instead of 2, we're going to use 4. If bonds becomes like daily or weekly, so you're going to use basically what is given there. So here we're given a question like Eurobond that pays the coupon annually. Suppose the annual coupon. Why I'm doing it quickly? I feel that you have already covered in previous finance course, but I'm going quickly, so I will get into questions more. We'll solve it more. So if that thing that you cannot understand anything, just stop me. I will go more slowly, okay? So Eurobond pays a coupon annually. Suppose the annual coupon is 8% and the face value of the bond is 1,000. YTM is 8% as well. So we show the calculation of duration in table 9.2, which is in the next slide. As the calculation indicates that the duration of the weighted average time to maturity on its bonds is 4.993 years. In other words, the time value of the money basis, the initial investment was 1,000, which is recovered after almost 5 years. So between 4.99 years and maturity 6 years, so the bond produced a profit or return to the investor who buys certain bonds. So here we go. The coupon payment's $80. Then we have a discount factor here. Then we actually multiply we multiply with the discount factor. Basically what we do here, we just get the discounting value of this cash flow, like 80 divided by the interest rate, which is 8%. The YTM is 8%, like 1 plus 8%. And which will give you the 74.7. And you will repeat it for all the years. Okay, you will repeat it for the all years. And it's very easy to do it in Excel. At the end of the day, you just multiply with the corresponding time. You multiply with the corresponding time. And you get actually sum it up at the end of the day, all, and divide by the summation of the discounted cash flow, the present value cash flow, or discounted cash flow. So we can repeat it in Excel, which will be very easy to do it as well. Like I can illustrate to you very quickly. So let me just pick it up. How many years we have? We have 6 years. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are receiving like $80 each year. It's a coupon payment. And in here we receive 1,000 plus $80, 1,080. Then instead of just putting again the discounted factor, and I will just directly discount it. Okay, I'll directly discount it, like 80 divided by 1 plus, so like let me make it like this, 0.8, and this to the power of or the current year, okay? This is what I get it. And I do the same thing for all years, okay, very quickly. And then what I do, just multiply by number of the corresponding year. This is what I get, and I just sum it up. I sum it up all, so I get this value. So what I do here, and if I sum it up, I should get the bond value. Okay, I should get the bond value. I should get, oh, let me do it in this way. So before the calculation of this part, I already knew that bond value is 1,000 because my coupon rate and the YTM is the same. Okay, that's so in here, I don't use the coupon rate. It's a YTM rate I'm using it. Okay, it's a YTM rate. Just for your information. So my duration is equal to this divided by this, like 4.99 years. So it's way of you doing it quickly. So if it's quarterly, you treat it as a quarterly basis. If it's semi-annually, you treat it as a semi-annual basis. Duration of the 2-year US Treasury bond with the 8% coupon and 12% yield to maturity. Okay, with the two. So what I do here, actually what you can see here is that 1/2, it's a semi-annually, 2 years, which means twice in a year. In total, you have 4 frequency time, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like half, 1, 1.5, and 2. And it was 8% of the coupon payment, which is $80 for yearly. But if it's semi-annual, you just divide by 2, which is 40. You get the present value of cash flow of it, multiply by the corresponding year, and you get this one. And then you estimate the bond value by summing up, and then the same procedure. I can repeat it here again for 4 years. So I have here 1/2. I have 1. I have 1.5. I have 2. The timing, and if it's 40, 40, 40, and here I have 1,000 plus 40. Then I just discount it again, but I discount with the 1.12. The YTM is 1.12, and I take it to the power this because it's not 1 year. It's one period, which is half year. But why it did not?
You forgot a division sign, Professor.
Oops. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coaches, for your being attentive. So this is what I get it. At the end of the day, I just multiply this by this. Did I get the same? Yeah. And I just sum it up all. $1.88 years. But why did they get this one? Did I make anywhere a mistake?
Maybe, Professor, we should divide 12 by 2. I mean 6%.
Very good. Very good. The 12 is the annual percentage rate, but we need to convert it into semi-annually. Perfect. So that makes the sense. So this one. But still.
I think now you need to scroll it down. How you did already?
Scroll it down, but it doesn't change anything.
You also, I think, forgot. Actually, no. Everything is fine.
It seems fine, but what if I change this one to just for periods? Okay, they made it in this way. That was actually cautious here, but is it the right way to do it? This is the question. So I was raising to the power half, but I need to raise by 2 periods, multiplying by 2, okay. Because yes, that was the right case. That was the right case. Because we need to raise by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4. Because if it's semi-annually, if you remember, the timing should be multiplied by 2 and the rate divided by 2. So we divide the rate and we should multiply by 2. So what I do here, I will keep the same. I'll keep this 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. I'll keep it like this, but I will apply it in here. So I will raise it, but multiplied by 2.
Yeah, now it works.
Okay, that would be more logical because we forgot, we converted the rate, but we didn't convert the timing. So we need to convert the timing as well. So if it's quarterly, then we multiply by 4 and divide by 4. Okay, now it works. Perfect. And we continue with duration of the 2-year treasury bonds with 6% and coupon 12% yield. Okay, I'm not going to illustrate. It can be done easily. It's a semi-annually. And we have 2 treasury bond with 8% and coupon rate 8%. Look, we are changing the coupon rate. And sorry, the YTM. We're changing the YTM. The YTM was 12%. Previously, the YTM in here is 12%. Okay. And YTM 16%. And then we increase the coupon. And the number of the years reducing here. So basically, here's the result that we got it. Coupon rate and YTM is same, but 6 years annually. Okay, this is my duration. Coupon rate is 8%, YTM is 12%, but 2 years semi-annually. Coupon rate is 1.88. Coupon rate is 6%, YTM is 12%, 2 years semi-annually.
Professor,
Yes?
why do we need to calculate duration?
Duration, it shows us how long it takes to recover the cost that you committed to certain investment. Okay, how long in terms of the number of years. Then after that, let's say, look, in here it says we need only 4.99 years
In order to cover my
the
cost,
only the cost. And after that, after this period,
we profit.
like before the 6, it will be our profit.
Got it.
So basically, we want to learn when we will start making money.
Got it. Thank you. Got it.
So duration is given here. So for different rates, like we're measuring the coupon rate is 8% increasing and increasing the YTM at the same time and reducing the number of the years of the maturity itself. So we can draw the conclusion in here, the following, like if you increase the coupon rate, the duration will be reduced. However, by keeping the YTM same, or reduce the coupon rate, keeping the YTM constant, duration will increase. Or we can say increasing the YTM and or the increase in the frequency as well, that will make the changes as well. So the frequency, then the coupon rate and the YTM and the maturity of the bond, they have an impact on the duration. Okay, this is the demonstration of how to estimate the duration itself, like price, cash flow, given the expected cash flow of the loan, like the coupon payments, repayment, the present value of the cash flows, and the price. Okay, there's another terminology that takes the place in here. It's a net worth of any bank, which is basically, it is the same value as net equity, the equity value. So in the question, when you see the word net worth, it directly means that there is an equity value. So net worth is equal to market value of asset minus market value of liabilities. So as interest rate changes, the value of the both the bank's asset and liabilities will change. That will result a change in the net worth, in the owner's investment in a specific bond. So change in the net worth is equal to change in asset minus change in liability. So the raise in the market rates of interest will cause the market value price of both bank fixed rates and liabilities to decline, because there's an inverse relationship between the interest rate and the bond value. The longer the maturity of the bank's assets and liability, the more they will decline in the market value, the more volatile they will be to changes in the interest rate as the market interest rate change. So the bank's change in the net worth due to the change in the interest rate will be depending upon the relative maturities of the assets and liabilities. So because the duration is the measure of the maturity at the bank, and the bank with the longer the duration asset than the liabilities will suffer greater decline in the net worth when the interest rate is going up. By equating asset and liability duration, management actually can balance the average maturity of the bank's expected cash flows, which is associated with its liabilities. So when you balance it, the duration analysis can be used to stabilize the market value of the bank's net worth. In other words, it can be called like immunizing balance sheet. So when financial manager immunize the balance sheet, it means they're trying to match the duration of the asset with the duration of the liabilities. Okay, there are some ratios can be used to try to see the price sensitivity of a security. So the important feature of the duration from a risk management point of view, that it measures the sensitivity of the market value of certain financial instrument to changes in interest rates. So the percentage change in the market price of an asset or liability is roughly equal to its duration times the relative change in the interest rate, which is attached to a certain asset or liability. Like change in the interest rate divided by 1 plus I. And this equation will show you the price sensitivity of certain security. So there's an example given, like a bond which is held by a certain bank and carries out a duration of 4 years, and the current market value of this bond is 1,000, and the market interest rate is attached to comparable bonds are about 10%. So if the market raises to 11%, so the change will occur. And what percentage change will occur in the bond's market value? So the duration is given here, estimated, but it's estimated, but your job to estimate the duration itself. Okay, so you will estimate the first duration and then multiply by the relative change in interest rate. Like change in the interest rate, 1% divided by 1 plus initial interest rate. And that will give you a price change. How much, basically not the price change, but how much the price of the certain security is sensitive or exposed to changes in interest rate. The higher the number, the more sensitivity it will underline. So basically using the duration to hedge against interest rate risk. If bank interested in fully hedging against the interest rate fluctuation, so dollar weighted duration of the bank's asset portfolio should be equal to the dollar weighted duration of the bank's asset liability. They should be immunized. So the bank's duration gap is close to zero as possible. In practice, it's not possible to make it zero, but at least you will make it closer to zero. If there's interest, if you want to be hedged against interest rate. But however, when the duration of asset exceeds the duration of the liability, so we have a positive duration gap in this case. And when the other way around, when the duration of the liability is more than the duration asset, we've got here the negative duration gap. Duration of an asset portfolio. Okay, now so far we have been treating the financial instruments or the financial assets or liabilities one by one, like separately. What if we have a duration of the portfolio of bank assets and portfolio of the deposit and the borrowing, which is equal to the weighted average of the duration of each instrument? So it can be calculated in the following way. First of all, we do calculate the duration of each loan, deposit, or asset and the liability itself. Then we weighting each of this duration by the market value of the instruments involved. And at the third step, we're adding all the value weighted duration together to come up with a duration of entire bank portfolio. So there will be an example. You will see and you will understand. The example will be in the slide, and the example will be given at the end of the chapter. So I'm going to tell you which questions that you need to solve at the end of the chapter. So duration of an asset portfolio is here. It's summation of the weighted duration of assets. We are given here the example of the assets, okay? Treasury bonds, commercial loans, consumer loans, real estate loans, and municipal bonds. Okay, these are the market values. And these are the durations. And these durations, we are estimating, okay? Duration for the treasury bond, we know how to estimate. Taking the present value of cash flows, multiplying by corresponding year and summing up. At the end of the day, what we do with this, sum up the present value, which is multiplied by T, divided by bond value, and we get the duration for each. And dollar weighted asset portfolio duration is here. $19 multiplied 749. So each value of the asset is multiplied by its duration. So at the end of the day, so what you do, lastly, you divide by total value of the market value of the assets, like 90, 100, 50, 40, 20, add them up and divide it. And you get dollar weighted asset portfolio duration. Duration of the liability portfolio is the same thing that we calculate. Okay. Now, how we can estimate the duration gap? We can estimate the duration gap in the following way. Duration of the assets, duration of portfolio, like considering all rate sensitive asset and all rate sensitive liabilities. So duration asset minus duration liabilities multiplied by total liability over total asset. And now, at the end of the day, we are interested in how we can identify the change in the net equity or net worth of the bank by using this formula. Minus duration of asset multiplied by relative change interest multiplied by asset minus duration of liability multiplied by the relative change in the interest rate multiplied by liability. Okay. So suppose the bank's duration of assets is 3 years, duration liability is 2 years, and total liability is 100 million. Total liability is 120 million. Then interest rate were originally 10%, but suddenly increased to 12%. And what happens to the bank's net worth? So we employ all the variables that are given here, and we plug it into the formula, into this formula. Into this formula, like duration of assets and relative change in interest rate. It change in the interest rate, it's 2%, 10 minus 12, and 1 plus original interest rate multiplied by 120 million, and minus 2 duration of liability, which you're estimating. You're using this formula, sorry, the duration of liability, duration of asset or portfolio. But how you use each, so you, first of all, you estimate each asset separately, then you estimate dollar weighted asset portfolio duration in this way, in order at the end of the day to estimate the change in net worth. We just substitute and we get here. So the net worth of this bank declines by 2.91 million as a result of 2% increase in the market interest rate. But if you want to calculate, before calculating the exact number by how much it's going to change, you can calculate the direction using the duration, like duration of assets, like 3 years minus 2 years, 100 divided by 120. And here's some impact change in interest rate, like giving you how it will affect the bank's net worth. When it's a positive gap, increase in the interest rate will reduce actually your net worth. With a positive gap, when interest rate goes down, it will increase. Negative gap, it's not repricing gap, guys. It's not repricing gap. It's duration gap, okay? I'm talking about the duration gap. Rise in the interest rate when negative gap increase, or negative gap when it falls in the interest rate, it will reduce the actually net worth. And the idea, if you're trying to stabilize your financial institution, then you immunize it through zero gap management. So you're trying to make the duration of asset and duration of liability equal to each other, to zero, to close it, to make the duration equal to zero. At least try to make it. But it's not possible in reality, but at least you will try to reduce the impact of the changes in the interest rate. There's some limitation of the duration gap management. And okay, I'm not just going to over, but there's some pitfalls, but still it's better than using the rate sensitive assets, or it's better than using the sensitivity changes. So I'd like to open the book now. So I would like to see which questions can be solved in here. Basically, I will give you the list of the questions that you need to solve. and you will solve it. But now, for an activity, but let me not to give you now activity. I will give you that as a homework activity, okay? When you solve all the question and submit it before we meet on 27. So please follow the Moodle. On the Moodle, there will be an announcement. Plus, I will email you which questions you need to solve it and submit it as an activity. Basically 29, 30, question number 30. No, I'm not going to. Question 31 can be solved. Okay. So I'm going to tell you which question. 39, 23 is a good one. Question 21 is good. And 20 is good as well. Okay. I'm done for today. Okay, I will let you go earlier. But before letting you go earlier, I would like to take the attendance. And if you have, while I'm taking attendance, you can ask the questions if you have it.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I was missing, like my internet wasn't good, and I missed this part. Is there anything we should do while we'll be on this sort of break holiday?
In the study break, what you will do to practice the questions for all the the activity that I'm going to give you. I'm going to email you what you're going to solve and questions, what you will solve it will be given to you. And this was the only thing. And apart from that, at the beginning, I told that there is a structure of the article. Like you can start writing your article if you collected all the data and if you organize the data in a proper way. So you can start writing it. The structure is given here. Okay.
Professor, can I ask?
Yes, please.
When we should submit our report for project?
For project, it's end of the April.
Okay. Should we include like regression analysis? You said that we should do it.
Yes, of course, the result should be included in the report. And your report should be in this structure, in this manner, in the structure of the article.
Okay.
Like
Thank you.
abstracts, introduction, literature review, and so on. Do you have any, I will definitely show you how to write the literature review, what should be written in the literature review if you don't have any idea. So I'm gonna go over this again, about the literature part, about the
About
methodology.
the literature review, I have
Sorry?
a question. Do we need to investigate other research that was made?
Yeah, of course, this is the part of the literature review. Like you will select 3-4 literature review works before, and you're going to just paraphrase them, summarize them in the literature review.
Okay.
Like 2-3 works, that will be enough, like to put like 1 page.
Professor,
Yes.
so you would upload the guidelines, yes?
Yes, the guidelines will be uploaded, but we'll have like 1 month. We'll be meeting and I'll give you every time we meet, I will give you new guidelines, like on each part, like on the literature review, then on methodology, then on the empirical results.
Professor, does it mean that we will finish our course before the end of the semester?
We'll
Because
finish.
We will write the midterm 2 on the 31st of the March.
Yes.
And after that, we will concentrate only on the research,
Writing
right?
the project. Yeah, we have some chapters need to cover. Credit risk.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
we already started with the nature of economics and economic data. We're gonna carry out the empirical project. So this PowerPoint presentation will help you out to write properly your project. So this, after that period, it will be basically based on writing your project, the chapters.
Okay, I see.
Aidana is here.
Yes, here.
Lee,
I'm here.
Evgenia,
I'm here.
Alnur, Almat,
I'm here.
I'm here.
Alina,
Almad is here.
I'm here.
Sakin here, Anwar,
Yes, I'm here.
Dinara,
I'm here.
Dana,
I'm here.
Temirlan,
I'm here, Professor.
okay, Jean.
I'm here, Professor.
Okay, everybody's here today. Thank you so much, guys. I wish you having good break. If you have any question during the break, please feel free to contact me.
So again,
Okay,
Professor,
thank you, Professor.
we need to recover the previous topic, but it is actually the same topics, right? Just part 2 and 1.
Yeah, it's interest rate risk 1 and interest rate risk 2.
Risk 2. Yeah.
Lecture 4, lecture 5.
Their chapters, their topics cover what kind of activities? 7 and 8, right?
Yeah, 7 and 8. 7 and 8. And activity
And you
9
said-
will be. And activity 9 is
Okay, and
coming.
you said that we need to solve the problems 18 and 19 on the same page, right? On the previous class.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you then an email again, stating that which questions from which lecture that you have to solve it in order to be ready for the exam.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Have a good
Yep,
notice.
You too, guys. You too.
Профессор, извините, можно я спрошу чуть-чуть не по риск-менеджменту? У нас будет corporate finance 25 числа?
25 числа не будет, потому что будет урок в субботу. То есть быть более справедливым, мы будем проводить в субботу урок. То есть I will take the course. Even tomorrow we are not going to have the class. We will have it on Saturday.
А завтра не будет?
Не будет.
Ладно.
Еще, профессор, вопрос как раз-таки по corporate finance. Хоть я закрыл этот курс, но некоторые темы у меня как бы подзабылись. У вас же остались же, да, лекции на...
Да, в Moodle, в YouTube остались лекции. В YouTube остались.
А можно будет, если что, вдруг по corporate вам тоже задавать вопросы, если вдруг...
Да, конечно, без проблем. Темирлан, я бы вам
предметов
посоветовал
нужно,
бы, в субботу у нас будет практическая часть corporate finance. Можете прийти, посидеть тоже, послушать.
Хорошо, спасибо. Просто я вот, когда получается, ну вот sensitivity analysis, вот это я все помню, так для первого мида я точно все помню, это хорошо, потому что я подготовился. Остальные темы, там второй мид я помню, плохо написал, и вот у меня темы хромают там, и поэтому хотел...
Ну вот тогда вот я вам посоветую присоединиться именно к завтрашней, когда в субботу у нас будет practical session. Там как бы Stengri Partners, он именно будет показывать estimation of WACC, как они делают.
Weighted average cost of capital, да?
Да, weighted average cost of capital. How do they estimate? То есть step by step он все покажет.
А какая будет ссылка на вот этот вот?
Ссылка такая же, что в класс.
Хорошо.
Хорошо. Спасибо большое.
Да, конечно, пожалуйста.